Hey, what's up YouTube? So it's Adam with the Cichlid Show, and I have finished working on the sump. So this thing is a beast. It will do 1,600 gallons per hour of sustained filtration. Lots and lots of bio balls. As you can see, tons of matrix at the bottom. 3 inches of matrix actually. 2.5 gallons. A whole lot. All that matrix, all those bio balls are really intended to keep the ammonia levels low. This new tank I'm building is going to have a lot of fish, and I really want to be able to pull out the ammonia at a very high rate. So I'm going to do a series of videos about the sump, about putting it together, lessons learned, and just other people in the future that want to build something like this from scratch by hand. There are a number of things that I've run into that I would have wanted to have known if I was future me. So we're going to do a couple of videos and talk about those things. But for right now, let me just give you a super quick tour of how this thing works. If you're not familiar with this type of sump, and I'm not sure that this is a certain type, so the water comes in from the 200-gallon tank. The water falls through the filter socks, 200 micron membrane. So anything bigger than 200 microns gets caught by the filter sock. So everything else blows under this is pushed underneath this baffle. It comes up and it spills over onto this drip tray. Now this drip tray, I really like this part of the design, although this is the hardest part for me to personally figure out and to work out how to make it do what it's doing. And I'll do a video on exactly how the drip tray works. It's actually kind of complicated, but basically what happens is all this water is spilling out on top of the drip tray, and I have holes, small sponge holes, that are allowing the water to fall through the drip tray at a very slow rate onto these bio balls. It's keeping them warm, and you can see that if you notice here, this is actually showing you what's happening with warm air. As warm air, it's pretty cool in my garage right now, and the water is 80 degrees is where I have it, and so it's creating condensation. You can see the line of the water, the warm air is just flowing across the top of the drip tray. That's really good, and it's actually jumping up over that's all really good, because this area, that water is being aerated, it's being exposed to ammonia and other stuff, and it's just, I really feel like this part of the filtration system is really important, and I think it's going to work really well. So once it falls through that, it falls onto this bed of submerged bio balls, through a layer of filter floss, onto the matrix layer here, and then it's pushed underneath this baffle through a layer of purigen and a final layer of carbon. And then from there it spills over into the pump pit and is sent back up to the aquarium. Or in this case, it's just sent across the tubes to the start of the sump. So this part, this last chamber, the way this is set up, if you look closely, you can see the purigen bubbling. And what I've noticed about purigen is you really need to let it flow. You gotta give it a lot of room. You don't want it all packed in on itself. So I have this weird thing done here with these pieces of plastic I bought from Home Depot. I have it done this way so that the carbon doesn't crush the purigen, but the carbon keeps the purigen from floating up, because it's really light and it'll float over into the next chamber. So this configuration, it looks, I'm not sure I like the way it looks, if looks are really what we're shooting for here. I want it to look nice, I like the way the lights are done, it's just kind of neat. But this is really functional, it's letting the purigen do its thing, it's giving the carbon a chance to touch the water. And it's, so I'll do another video on how this works. You can position it this way, you can also position the plastic, like that, like in a sandwich. But the way this is designed is neat. It's easy to do, and everything you see in this entire project is bought from Amazon and Home Depot. Those are my two distributors of almost everything. So Yeah, I really like it. I think this is going to work really well. So one other thing I want to mention, this little guy over here, this is a, that's what I'm getting notifications right now from it. This is the Senai probe. This monitors ammonia, temperature, pH. It gives me an ability to dose the aquarium with ammonia, and I can watch as the ammonia spikes on the charts and then falls off gradually from where the, so it gives you an idea of how fast the tank is cycling. So if you're familiar with the whole nitrogen cycle process, I can monitor that very, very closely. So I'm going to have the tank, the sump, fully cycled by the time the main tank is put together. So I think that's going to work. So I have all the same water quality, water, same pH, same hardness, alkalinity. It's the same in the sump that it's going to be in the main tank once it's finished. So I'm hoping the bacteria will survive until long enough for me to get the main tank going, and then cycling the main tank and getting new fish put in it won't take as long. So okay guys, I hope this has been useful for you. If you were involved in the creation of this, there are a number of other people. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun, and it has taught me more about, more about water and just the way the filtration system in the tank works than anything else could have. I mean, if you have the time and the energy to build your own sump like this, like a large-scale sump, you should do so, because it'll teach you a lot. Okay? Later, guys.